You're about to enter the Atomic Voodoo Lounge, New Stanton's one and only surreal dive bar, bringing you beauty and magic and terahertz tragic. I'm Maxwell Vegas, writer, poet, musician, and author of the soon-to-be-published novel New Stanton. Descend with me into the static buzz of late-night radio, where words and music swirl through neon dreams and drift like cigarette smoke out over dried-up prehistoric seas. Welcome back to the Atomic Voodoo Lounge, or maybe you've been wafted here upon autumnal winds, cornered by the vermilion drips of unceasing time. If you know anything about this place, you know no one's going anywhere soon, so please take your place at the bar, relax, order a drink, enjoy the show. I'm Maxwell Vegas, your host on this downward spiral into the brown motion of the year's death. And I'm dialing up some exquisitely appropriate fare. Tonight, we have the music of Jason Lee's Dark Entities and the Jagaloons, courtesy of Taboo Recordings. Some edge-of-the-bed poetry by Abigail Miller and Travally McFarland, and yours truly. In addition to my story, Autumn and God's Son, a tribute to my favorite season. Of course, we'll throw a few six-word noirs into the mix, and who knows what else. Now, what are you drinking tonight? No clue? Well, for a cocktail that is truly interesting, dark, and captures the essence of autumn, the Atomic Voodoo Lounge recommends the Black Fig. This drink moves beyond the typical apple and pumpkin spice flavors of the season, delving into a richer, more sophisticated profile. Its dark, brooding color comes from a combination of bourbon, Italian Amaro, and balsamic vinegar, while fig preserve gives it a velvety texture. With notes of dark fruit, vanilla, and caramel, balanced by a pleasant herbal bitterness and a hint of spice, the Black Fig is a contemplative sipper, perfect for enjoying by a fire or while listening to a podcast. Here's what you'll need. 2 ounces of bourbon, 3/4 ounce Amaro Averna, 1/2 ounce of fresh lemon juice, 1 heaping bar spoon of fig preserves or fig jam, 1 dash Angostura bitters, and 1 dash balsamic vinegar. Combine the bourbon, Amaro Averna, lemon juice, fig preserves, bitters, and balsamic vinegar into a cocktail shaker. Fill the shaker with ice. Shake vigorously for about 15 seconds. The shaker should be well chilled, and this long shake is necessary to fully incorporate the thick fig preserves. Double strain the cocktail into a chilled coupe or rocks glass. Double straining, that means pouring through both the shaker strainer and a fine mesh strainer or sieve, is essential to catch any seeds or fruit pulp from the preserves, ensuring a smooth texture. Finally, garnish with a slice of fresh fig and a sprig of fresh thyme or rosemary. And enjoy. With drink in hand, let's see if we can face the Ghost of the Sargasso by the Jagaloons off of their Forbidden Words LP, 2024. Ghost of the Sargasso by the Jagaloons, courtesy of Taboo Recordings. Check them out at Bandcamp, and I will post all relevant links on atomicvoodoolounge.com in the notes section. Here at the Atomic Voodoo Lounge, we love to dabble with 6-word noir stories. 6 words that evoke some feeling or some character or some action, often with touches of surreal or speculative elements. I put out the Maxwell Vegas Challenge, and someone answered, someone by the name of Lazlo, a Substack subscriber. He sent me a variety of 6-word stories that actually work as a larger story when put together. She's bad. Crime scene tape bad. We embraced. Kissed. I shot her. Time to consult the spirits. Bartender? Shadows under the door. Hammer cocked. 6 words? Not without my lawyer. His one phone call is bookie. Thank you, Lazlo. I wonder if it's the same Lazlo who lives in a bunker beneath the dorms at Pacific Tech, creating entries for a contest. You know what that's from, don't you? Anyway, I'm sending out my 6-word story challenge, the Maxwell Vegas Challenge, to all my Substack subscribers. Try your hand at writing a 6-word noir, 6-word speculative noir, 6-word surreal noir, what have you, and send them in to me for a chance to have yours read on an upcoming episode of the Atomic Voodoo Lounge. Be like Lazlo. Do your best work. Thank you, Lazlo. Next up on the excuse me. This is the Atomic Voodoo Lounge, Maxwell Vegas speaking. Dreadnought? Dreadnought Martini. Oh. An interview with me? Comic book. You're still working with Mick Curry? Sort of. Oh, you and Harold. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. I will check my calendar and get back to you, and we'll make that happen. Okay, then. Take care. Bye-bye. Someone always seems to be calling into the Atomic Voodoo Lounge. That was Dreadnought Martini stepping right out of the pages of my novel Newsstand. We'll see what's up with him, perhaps in the next few episodes. Okay, where was I? Oh yes, tonight we're going to delve into some poetry. Poetry that's on the creepier side of things. The Grave's Edge by Travally McFarland. I used to be a whole bed sleeper back when love was true and a whole lot cheaper. The nearness of you sends me creeping, clinging to the bed's edge as you are sleeping. I'm not afraid, just trapped in here, the lost promise of a night's rest laid bare. Your breath wafts over of rotting ale as I twist and turn away, mourning and pale. Sharing your space makes my stomach churn, always wondering when it will be my turn for the unspeakable acts you crave that send me, with each one, closer to my grave. Drips by Abigail Miller. Pit, pat, pit, pat, drips, splashing my porcelain visage, falling from the cracked roof, staining me deep rouge. Drips, a clock, their pitter, patter, ticking off seconds as I wallow in darkness, continuing down twisted hallways, over broken floorboards. Chandeliers hang, jewels glistening in the gloom, the blackness consuming every single being. The drips converge, form vermilion streams against the faded wallpaper of this empty house, and I run faster, faster, faster down abandoned passages as sanguine rivulets flow, filling each and every crevice, regardless of size. The pit-pat of drips, now a rushing, vile sound coursing through my ears. Crimson floods chasing me into a corner, creeping closer, closer, creeping to my feet. My shoes, black leather, once polished, now drenched. Viscous liquid rising higher, reaching my face anew, yet not in delicate drips as before, but as a malicious entity, a vengeful spirit wronged by my initial escape. It caught me as I ran through the splintered, tarnished, and torn pathways of my own heart. The Guardian Angle. Yes, angle, not angel, by Maxwell Vegas. When you look inside my window, and I'm frightened that I'll see you looking in my window, looking, peeking in at me, there is only one thing I think of that helps me make it through. You may be looking in my window, but a devil is looking out at you. A big atomic Voodoo Lounge thank you to our poets of the evening. Travally McFarland is a college professor with over 30 years professional writing experience. She is always on the lookout for an open go-go dance cage. Abigail Miller is everything spooky and dark, wrapped up in a bright pink bow. She loves a good scare, accompanied by a fluffy friend and a warm blanket. Of course, yours truly, Maxwell Vegas, is just an angel-headed trickster drifting in the neon glow of the Atomic Voodoo Lounge, writing inscrutable missives to long-lost misters and misses. Keeping things on the gloomier side, here is Into the Darkness by Jason Lee's Dark Entities, off of their 2024 EP, Gothica. Jason Lee's Dark Entities Into the Darkness, courtesy of Taboo Recordings. Check them out at Taboo Recordings, TABU, on Bandcamp or houseoftaboo.com. I wrote tonight's featured story, Autumn and God's Son, back probably in 1989, and actually got it published in a small magazine out of Bronxville, New York, called The Villager in 1990. Autumn was always a special time for me, and coming off a deep infusion of Jack Kerouac, the Beat Poets, the Romantic Poets, Ray Bradbury, and others, it just seemed natural to me to write about autumn, and, well, this is what came out. Autumn and God's Son by Maxwell Vegas. Old Titus was trying to catch autumn for 60 years. It was the essence he wanted. Some symbol, something he could hold mentally, consume physically, something he could become. At 6 p.m., autumn's brown motion, the smell of burning leaves, the orange-tinged clouds dying on the horizon, was bringing autumn day to an end as Titus rounded the old school toward home. The doctor told him to exercise, and even at 80, Titus liked his evening walk. Time to think under God, he would say. Time to wonder. Titus examined the trees, sniffing the air, cursing the years gone by. I love these oaks, he whispered to the schoolhouse, the very same one where Titus once rushed, red-faced and gloomy, to the 3rd grade. The trees were a comfort to him then, whispering strange knowledge as he watched their ever-shifting limbs through long-forgotten lessons. They were larger than ever, huge and gnarled in their roots, half bare and waiting for winter, looming over his fragile body as he walked away with the crunch of brown leaves and the crooked stomp of dilapidated work boots. Caw-caw, caw-caw. The crows perched above him took flight as he passed. Titus looked back at the trees and continued down the street, wondering the vague kind of wandering in which the calls of lonely crows sweep the chilled, stiff air of afternoon and settle down to restful watching on the tops of tangled trees. It was like God talking. Titus, you old white mule, you old shaggy man, where are you going under the sun? Where are you moving to? What motion jams your veins to roll you down this street, barren street, empty street, in the graying light of orange acorn dusk? Hey, boy, what makes autumn so attractive? What makes you want to pull it into you, use it as fuel, expel it in a laughing wind that mixes with sad howling until you can't tell whether you're rejoicing or mourning, just upheaval of pure emotion cracking your bones? Nearly home, stiff, cold hands shoved in jacket pockets, Titus walked, almost limping, in the strange half-light that comes around that time of day. October dusk, orange-rimmed darkness. The wind blew through Titus's hair, making it stand in wild white fury. He could have been Moses going home alone. He could have been Lear raving in the wilderness. Could have been Einstein lost going round the block. Yet only Titus, just trying to catch autumn, always failing, always going, always wondering. And he sighed, wanting neither to laugh nor cry, as he made it to the corner and the street lamp switched on a cool illumination. and leaves swirled around an old man still groping for answers in the arc-light chilled dusk of old age. Coming soon from Heavy Sixer Productions, New Stanton, a novel by Maxwell Vegas. Mr. Harold Dean, a shady alcoholic, just woke up with one hell of a hangover at the Starlight Inn, New Stanton's dingy motel. The only problem is, New Stanton doesn't exist. Join Mr. Dean on this postmodern night journey through buried memories, liminal spaces, and treachery as he searches for his sole means of escape, a blue 1964 Chevy Malibu. Will he be able to find his car before the evil Dr. Freytag does? Can Mr. Dean trust a host of bizarre characters to help him solve the mysteries of his own dysfunction and accept that New Stanton is exactly where he needs to be? The answer to these questions and many more lies scattered across New Stanton, a town that sits on the edge of a dried-up prehistoric sea, a town that exists inside and down. The blowing autumn winds and the blood-red drips have carried us to the grave's edge of tonight's episode of the Atomic Voodoo Lounge podcast. Drain the rest of your black fig and don't forget your jacket. I'm Maxwell Vegas, and thank you for listening. Stay tuned for more Atomic Voodoo Lounge stories, music, poetry, and who knows what else. Our current schedule is one episode every other week or twice a month, for the time being. However, sometimes we throw in a few surprise episodes along the way. If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to help support the podcast, please subscribe at atomicvoodoolounge.com. Did I mention it's free? And spread the good word. And if you are interested in contributing or being a sponsor, drop me a line and we can discuss the particulars. And don't forget our 6-word noir challenge is open to Substack subscribers. So check out the Atomic Voodoo Lounge on Substack and subscribe. Find out more about Maxwell Vegas and Heavy Sixer Productions at heavysixerproductions.com or maxwellvegas.com. And please don't forget, Vegas is spelled V-A-G-U-S. You might strike a nerve. Special thanks to Taboo Recordings for allowing us to use Jason Lee's Dark Entities and the Jagaloons. Check out more fantastic tunes from Taboo Recordings at houseoftaboo.com. Remember, T-A-B-U. A big thank you to our contributing poets, Travally McFarland and Abigail Miller. And thank you to Lazlo for responding to the Maxwell Vegas challenge and sending in some hard-boiled 6-word noirs. Thanks to Mad Gravity Studio for their song Shady, which we put under those Lazlo 6-word stories. Check them out at mgstudio.org. All words and music composed, read, programmed, and or performed by Maxwell Vegas, unless otherwise stated. All text, music, and performances copyright Heavy Sixer Productions, LLC 2025. Some sound effects and music used under Creative Commons license. Remember, no AI training, please. Thank you. From the Atomic Voodoo Lounge, this is Maxwell Vegas. Good night.